Yo, welcome to SmallmouthCrush. Guess what? I am back on Oneida Lake, upstate New York. Got the FLW BFL starting tomorrow. First 1 day of practice. Let's head out on the lake and see what's cooking out here. Hey, is this not the usual look? If you're in upstate New York, you got your storm bar on, you got your rain gear on. We got some wind today. Awesome, love wind on Oneida Lake. Dead serious. We're gonna have some rain probably, because that's what happens this year. Thunderstorms, rain. I love it. Woo! Now, for real, I gotta go try to find some fish. I got 1 day of practice. You know, I spent a week here dealing with that Northern Open. Hopefully I can correct some of the mistakes I had a few weeks back here. But we're gonna give it a whirl. I'm still in break-in mode on the old motor, so got to try to run it in these waves. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go try to find, there's a couple flats I wanna fish right off the bat here. And then I'm gonna head out to the old stomping grounds, dig around there. Unfortunately, you know, you get 1 day of practice, at least I did. It's gonna be hard to tell if there's a good schooling bite or topwater bite, just due to the wind today. Might give it a try, but you know, let's say tomorrow's dead calm and there's areas that these fish are coming up. I may not know where they are, which could hurt. But let's just hope it's not calm tomorrow and we have the same conditions, which we might. Definitely gonna rain tomorrow. Of course, it's a BFL. Potomac, downpour. Chesapeake Bay, downpour. Oneida Lake, probably a downpour. Next on the list, Lake Champlain. Let's get through one at a time. We made it! Little walleye chop here. Wasn't too bad. I got the drift socks flowing. I'm gonna do a little drift and see if we can pick up a fish or two. I think it's gonna be a good bite. Just a crazy ride here. Good, I'm good, I showered. But let's see if we get in some fish here. Drift socks, right? You need them. Big water, always. Need that thing. I got two. All right, so I was really excited. I mean, this is the third BFL, and I know my buddies were up there all week, and they were on some good fish, so I figured it's going to be pretty easy. However, with the wind today, I knew it was going to be tough to get around and check all the areas, so just went back out to an area that I have that's full of different humps. There's some deep water as well, some drop-offs, things like that. Some good grass out there as well, so it's a really nice area. Holds a lot of population of fish and some good fish at times. And so I really like using those drift socks. It was really the only thing that's going to help you control the boat and slow you down when you're when you have to drift, when you have to use the wind to your advantage. I don't always like using them because they are clumsy. They get in the way a lot. Especially if you're making short drifts, you got to pull them in, throw them on the deck. They get caught up in your hooks and your rod's laying there. So it can get in the way. And I also don't particularly like the fact that they're bright red, especially when I'm drifting on a 10, 12 foot hump. You know, I think my boat, let alone, scares them enough. Now they got a big red, you know, piece of canvas floating down 3 feet underneath the water. So I try to get that bait. What I'm doing is I'm drifting a small swim bait. I'm trying to throw that way out behind the boat, and then I just kind of hold it. And it's just basically just a slow, steady pull with the rod. You know, I'm not reeling. And I'm just letting it kind of flutter down there. Every once in a while, it makes contact with the bottom. I'm using a really light head. Those fish were loving it. It's a really, really good presentation. I use it a lot of different places. But it really comes in handy on this particular lake. You know, every once in a while I get a good fish. And then when I came upon a real, shallow 8 to 12 foot section, I started picking up the crankbait, and I was throwing that crankbait that dives to about 12 feet. And I was picking up some fish there too. So the action was great. It was pretty steady. I felt confident that I would be able to get a limit probably in an hour, hour and a half, which would be great because that would allow me to go check some of the other areas that I have that I'm not going to be able to get to today during the tournament, and maybe put together a really good bag. Get me 13, 14 pounds in an hour here. Give me some breathing room to feel comfortable enough that I can go run some stuff, try some stuff that may or may not work, but at least I got a limit, a solid limit. And so that's what I was hoping for, and that was the plan going into tomorrow in the BFL. I was going to start on an area that's just a shallow little section where they come up on and feed. And then I was going to go run out in this zone, and I thought easily be able to put together a decent bag. We had an east wind, so I'm keeping that in mind. Tomorrow's wind's going to be west. One thing I've noticed with the west wind in this area is you actually catch a lot of walleye with a west wind. East wind, not so much. And I'm not sure, I've fished for smallmouth here with an east and an west wind, and I've done well. Some days are always better than others, and I can't figure out what wind's better for this section here. But I ended up did catch a few walleyes today as well. But these humps were loaded up with not giant smallmouth, not the ones I was really hoping for, not the ones you're going to need to win. But I knew that the weights weren't going to be like they were in the open. And I also figured that we weren't going to see a lot of 18, 19-pound bags, even 17-pound bags. I figured if I get 15, 16, I'd be sitting pretty good. Of course, I want to do well. Of course, I want to take a top 5. Of course, I want to maintain Angler of the Year. But you got to start with being able to get that limit in the boat and give yourself some breathing room, especially when you don't have a lot of practice. And they were loving that crankbait. Now the wind started to die down. Life was good. I was on fish. The sun was coming out at times. And I just kind of bounced around and tried to look for some other areas that might have some bigger fish in this zone. However, all of them were pretty much, 2 pounds, 2.5. Once in a while you get a 3-pounder. But man, it came pretty quick. And then we started catching a few walleyes. Pulled out the drop shot here. Still using the drift socks to slow me down. But I felt good. I'm feeling good so far. All right, midday update. Not looking good, folks. Not looking good. I had a couple fish drifting earlier today. Wind's dying down, at least where I'm at right now. Of course, behind me, you got the storms rolling through as usual, right on time. I got about 2 hours to figure something out. Otherwise, we're just going to have to wing it. You know what that means? That means everything you've done in the past on this lake, you're going to go run to and try to figure something out. That's what I'm going to have to do. I got a couple ideas. I might be all right. So it finally calmed down. About an hour to go. Set the hook into a nice one. Yeah. Even the walleyes like the Carolina rig on this lake. Well, that's about it. Time to head back. Head to the meeting. Get ready. Hope for some good weather. See what happens tomorrow. Crush, it is day 1. One-day tournament, FLW BFL on Oneida Lake up in Syracuse, New York. Ready to put the hammer down, although we had a tough practice yesterday. I'm familiar with the lake. I think I can put something together. Cloudy skies, fairly calm, might get windy. I'm gonna go deep, gonna go shallow, gonna move around, gonna see what happens. Angler of the Year right now leading, like to keep that status, so that's the goal today. See what happens. We got Kenny in the house. He's a little busy. He can't say hi right now.
Hi, how you doing?
You won't believe how old this guy is. My God, I just found out. Scary. He looks like he's 50, but I guess you got a few more years than that. He's been doing this for a while. So we're going to have a good day. Looks like he's got all the right baits on.
Phone number 32. 32. We got Travis and Kenny.
Yep.
Kenny!
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, my man?
All right. Make sure I got my life vest.
Yeah.
Normally you ask me for it, and I got it covered. You better not.
Go 30, we ready for you? 31. Got your 31, thank you guys. So 32. Go ahead, 32, thank you guys. 33.
Now you get a fish on. If you want me to net him, call it. If
Yeah.
you don't, I won't, because some guys, want you to net some, and others they don't. So,
Yeah, I'd like you to net everyone.
huh?
I'd like you to net everyone.
All right.
Got him.
You don't waste no time, do you?
Oh, wrong kind. Don't worry about it.
Because that's all I caught the other day. Super spread.
Well, I was just throwing some reaction baits in this area. Really wasn't feeling it, so gave it about 10-15 more minutes and decided to head out to that deep spot. The wind started to pick up, and I just wanted to get a quick limit in the boat fast. Actually decided to start in a deeper spot that I had and drop shot a little bit. And unfortunately, it just wasn't working. Had to get out of there. And we were gonna have to get the drift socks out. That wind really started to pick up here. By the way, if you guys watched my Oneida Lake Bassmaster Open tournament on the last day, you know I had some major serious issues losing fish on the drop shot. Well, I switched hooks in practice thanks to some of the advice I got from you guys. In fact, I haven't gotten back to all the replies yet and looking at some of the hooks that you guys mentioned. But I used that Gamakatsu Aaron Martin's new drop shot hook, and it sticks them good. I'm impressed so far. So far. Yep, that one's gonna hurt. Took me all day to get 5 fish out here. The bite just died. I have no idea. I did well in practice. I was able, they were stacked. and I brought a 12-incher in as well. So we're gonna fall short, I believe. All right, guys, we're back, and it was a difficult day for me. Difficult meaning, you know, I had a day of practice. I'm not making excuses. I had a tough year here on Oneida Lake for sure. I got a limit, small limit. I got a largemouth in there. It's definitely not gonna, I'm not gonna get a check. But hopefully I'll stay up there in the points. Maybe maintain the lead. I'm not sure. I mean, I might be 30th or 40th place if I'm lucky. So, I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens. Terrible. Yeah. So, what do you think, Kenny?
You didn't do terrible.
I didn't do terrible. I hear you. So, it was a terrible day, but we got 5, but nothing too good. Just a tough bite all around, I think. Little guy. Wish I could have got rid of him. And we have a huge largemouth for you guys. All right, let's go weigh these bad boys in. Audio here, but I'm just like, I meet Matt coming back in. He was on fish all week. Dude brought in 3 fish today. That was a bummer. I thought he would have a really good bag. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? 3 fish? Oh well. I mean, it was tough for a lot of guys, except for this guy. Gray Buck wins the tournament. I think he had 18 something. I don't know. They didn't put the results up yet. Congratulate to him. He's a great fisherman. He does well on night. He does well everywhere. But it was cool to see him win. All right, we're heading back and to put the boat on the trailer and get out of here, man.
Yeah. You want me to help you put the boat on?
Nah, man, I can do it. No biggie.
Oh.
I got it.
You don't trust the black guy with your truck or whatever? You think I'm going to take it down to Philly or Delaware and sell the bills more than that? I can't help you out. I didn't help you this morning. Is that what it is? You little color structure. After we've been together for 8 hours, I'm divorcing you. Don't even talk to me no more.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, don't talk to me no more.
All right, there's Lucas. It doesn't look like he's happy. He came in a little hot and heavy. I don't think there's a lot of people happy today. Nobody's happy.
I am.
What?
I don't care if I catch fish. I enjoy meeting new people, even though they be a little discriminatory and everything. But
Now, you took a nap today, a couple naps.
I took about 4 naps. Mother Nature made me sick today.
Right.
But as long as you don't drown me, I come back here to the dock, I have a good time.
Now, can you swim?
I'm like, not the ghetto. Hey, we got some nice pools and everything. We go there in 2 feet of water.
Oh.
We don't go in current, sharks, peckles, and all that crazy
Gotcha. Kenny's a funny character. He was a good guy to fish with. I had a good time that day. I did take 32nd, okay? 32 out of 130, I believe, which, it is what it is. Didn't get paid, but I did maintain Angler of the Year as far as first in points. So the next one's going to be Lake Champlain. And we were off. So I had one more day, Sunday. I wanted to go up to Lake Ontario for half a day, take a look at the conditions, see what things would be like for the upcoming Costa event. So here's a quick preview of what's to come. But today, just got done with the BFL on Oneida Lake and thought I'd run up here and check some things out. See how the place is fishing. Haven't been up here in a year, since last fall. But let's get out there and see what we can find. Some giant smallmouths, probably. It's a little rough out here. I didn't make it to where I wanted to. But I pulled up on a spot, and lo and behold, got a giant smallie. So I could have used about 5 of these yesterday. Like to thank Kyle Carpenter for that one. It's an inside joke. Man. So fat, he's feeding. His fins are a little beat up. But he's fat, like he feels pre-spawn, but he could have been done and he's just eating good. So, definitely a healthy fish. Hey, hit the subscribe button. I got more awesome footage on Lake Ontario coming up for the next couple of weeks for you guys. Until next time, we'll see you on the water.